Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 22 series with the Pirates, and we're now here on July 6th. I decided to skip right over the international amateurs just because there are absolutely no one that was even remotely interesting to try to bring in. And we're here right before the draft, just basically because of the main reason that Alexander Palma is at the end of his rehab assignment here after absolutely tearing the cover off the ball in AAA, and I really don't want to lose him because of having the waive and DFA him. So we're just going to go ahead and right now and just try and get Brian Reynolds off this team and see what we can get for him, because I need him off this team. He has hit even worse at this point. He is a negative win player. It really sucks to see that he's kind of just forgot how to hit this year after two very successful seasons in the past 2 years, but we just can't have him performing like this. And since we've extended our lead even in the first place, and we need to go for it this year, and he's negative to our team, so we need to get him off right now. And the player that I found that we're going to go for Brian Reynolds is this guy right here, Cal Stevenson, who is a fantastic left-handed bat. As you can see, he can has a good eye, a great avoid K rating, a guy who possibly could play some first base. He's kind of short, and if you don't know, OOTP isn't as favorable towards short players who play first base. Their performance will go up, kind of if they are above 6 feet defense-wise. We don't really have a spot for him, but also there weren't really many good offers, and this just gets Reynolds' contract totally off the books for this year. So it's just a deal that we do need to make. So we're just going to go ahead and do it, and there weren't any better options. So we have to go do that, and then we'll go ahead and add Palma to the roster. So the thing with Palma, adding him to the roster, is it also helps us with our left-handed pitch hitting, because really the only guys who we have that are usable against lefties are Stallings, which, I mean, before that, he was our main pinch hitter against lefties, and he's not even really a fantastic rated bat to begin with. So I figured, and also, you don't want your catcher being your main pinch hitter, even if it is against lefties, who you don't necessarily use, of course, as much. But you don't want your backup catcher to be a guy who you're using as a pinch hitter. And Palma is highly rated, more highly rated against lefties, so we need him to be our platoon guy. He's even getting a good amount of starts against left-handed pitching, because Florial and Jingsheng don't hit lefties particularly well. So we're going to go ahead and make that move. And yeah, I mean, I really like our lineup. Christian Robinson has started to drop off a little bit here, but we'll evaluate what we're going to go after here based on who we can find that's available, and really what we need, which is definitely going to be up the middle. We're either getting a shortstop or a right-handed outfielder, and that's just what we would be looking at to get this year. Either one of the two, or possibly even second baseman, even though Adaman has been good and good. Ko has hit a hot streak here, and his average is almost back up to 300. His slugging is way back up. He has 23 homers. Love to see that. But we're going to go ahead and sim towards the draft before we get into any of that kind of stuff. Alright, so we are at the day of the draft here, and we are picking 7th overall. Probably not too common for a team to be picking 7th overall and be in first place in the division that they're in. Just a quick look at that again. We are 3.5 up on the Cardinals now. They surpassed the Cubs, and the Cardinals also are holding on to that second wild card spot. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the draft, see who's available. At the 7th pick, we should be able to get a pretty good guy here, and there are some talented guys available. Hopefully one of these 65 rated guys is still here, and two of them are. One is this guy who's he's just a reliever. Definitely just not interested in him. The other guy here is Juan Verdusco, maybe. He is a ground ball pitcher, throws very hard. Kind of concerns me that he just has this changeup here that's just not very good. We'll take a look at other guys here. This catcher is semi-interesting, but not a guy who I'd pick this early in the draft. This third baseman is here. He could be a very interesting guy. He can play a good outfield as well, I honestly might lean towards him. I think he's a much safer bet than the pitcher. There's also this center fielder who is dynamite defensive center field ratings. I accidentally clicked on him again. The shortstop is here. I quite like his hitting ratings with good discipline and avoid K rating. That shortstop's not particularly good. Neither is this one. This guy is fine, and then this guy is very good defensively, but not otherwise. I think I might have to go with. He's not nearly as well rated there. His personality looks to be pretty good, even though it is unknown now. And this guy's personality also is pretty fine. I think we have to go with him just because he has a higher ceiling. I do like that third baseman, but we could also play him at a corner outfield spot. But you want to get really the best asset available in the MLB draft, not really look at needs so much. And we have plenty of good hitters coming up in the system, but I think this pitcher just has a better potential going forward. So we're gonna go ahead and take him. And then no way is this shortstop still here? It is. We're just gonna go ahead and take him. I can't believe he is still here. So then, with our next pick, that pitcher's ratings are quite interesting. This catcher is also pretty interesting. We're either gonna pick one of the two. I think I'm gonna pick the catcher because I don't think he'll be here because he's quite a high demand. So I'll go ahead with him. See who wants to pick now. Greg Swaim. Now I'm a very fast first baseman. Can he play outfield at all? No. Not too interested in him. Look at these shortstops here. They're not particularly interesting either. This guy's a good defensive outfielder but can't hit at all. This catcher's a good defensive catcher. Lots of these players here just look to be good defensive players. I think I might pick that catcher and then kind of go ahead and look further down the line. I think we have to take Nichols just because he has a good potential comparatively to everyone else. Who also, that guy's good. If he's there, we'll grab him. And he got picked, so we won't be able to take him. Pearson guy, I'd be interested if he wasn't just a flat out second baseman. Hitting wise, so batting potential will go here. This guy has pretty good potential ratings. Blackman, also no. Who's got good power potential? Baumeister, can't really field any positions, so I'm not particularly interested in him. This Messina guy doesn't have good work ethic, so I'm kind of don't want to take him. Same with Meyer. Justin Baker, also not a good work ethic. Yeah, there's not too much left hitting wise. Maybe we'll take Ken Brown. He looks fine enough, so we'll go ahead and take him. And I think I'm just gonna move on to pitching because I don't really necessarily like a lot of the hitters left. We're gonna go ahead and take this flamethrower who looks to be a guy who can possibly be developed as a two-way player. And then Aaron Calhoun is also a guy who looks to be a pretty good player, so we'll go ahead and take him. The Goldstein guy, probably not. This guy is a reliever spec. So we'll just sort by here. I think we already just looked at that guy. Yes, I was right. This guy's just a position player. He can't really pitch. This guy, Eli Woods, got a nasty changeup, it looks like, but can't really do anything else. Then we'll look to see what other guys have pretty nasty pitches that we could go after. This guy, I think he could be interesting if we develop him as a pitcher. And then we'll look here. Anything else is interesting at all? I don't particularly see anyone. This guy's got a good circle change. He's a position player though, not a guy who I would trust as a pitcher. And then this guy's got a good knuckle curve. Ryan Perkins, he's not particularly interesting either. So we'll go ahead and look at fielding ratings real quick, see if there's any guys who just have particularly crazy defensive ratings or guys that look like we could develop. If this guy could hit, he would be incredible, but it's too bad he can't. There seem to be a ton of good defensive players in this draft here. I mean, I've never seen this many people with range ratings above 70. It's pretty nuts here. Marshall, I didn't mean to click on him again. Zach Nolan. Here's a little work ethic, catchability. Wow, yeah, this is an incredible draft for defensive players. I mean, I've never seen really guys with this high catchability in this draft. We're gonna go ahead and take this guy first. I just want to absolutely stock up on these guys. I mean, this guy can actually hit, kind of. That's insane. I mean, all of these guys are so incredibly valuable. Oh yeah, I mean, we're gonna take this guy too. I mean, all of these guys are just absolute studs. What about this guy who has a good arm and that? I mean, he's a good leader. We'll go ahead and take him. These guys are all just nutty ratings. And we'll go to infield range. And of course, there are some guys here with just insane infield ratings. That guy's unfortunately kind of stuck as a second baseman because of his infield ratings. This guy also is kind of a second baseman, but he's better at the bat. So this guy we just clicked on, yeah, I think so. So we'll go ahead and take him. I need to get to my draft pick though, so we'll go ahead and take him. And we have two more guys here, and I believe Nolan's the guy we already looked at. Yes, he is. So that's going to do it. We got a lot of value, I think, there. I'm pretty pleased with that draft in this episode this far. I feel like we got a lot of good value there for our picks. Got a lot of guys who I think could at least be intriguing options in the field. Just want to look at this Andy Perez guy, and he's not really anything. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and sim the rest of the draft, and then we're going to get into the trade deadline and all of our needs and see what's out there in the market that we could use to improve our team and hopefully make a playoff run here. Before we get into all the trade deadline shenanigans, we do have the All-Star Game rosters have been announced, and you know, our team's never been better, so you'd think that we would have a lot of guys having All-Star consideration. But first, we're going to go ahead and look at prospect the futures game, because we do have a very good system right now, so you'd think that we'd also have some guys in here, and I already see one, and that's Zion Rose, our first-round pick from this past year, who is a very good player. He is, in this game, he is in rookie ball again, and he is hitting decently well as a catcher, so he has been selected for this game. Looking further down, we don't have any infielders that I do see, but I thought I saw another guy on our team, but that honestly might be it. Only one representative for Pittsburgh in here, which is also kind of surprising because we do have a pretty great system. But without further ado, we have the All-Star rosters here. Look at rosters here. Alec Lang is starting for the American League. He has had a nutty season so far. Maybe he's not. Otani also has it, but maybe he's starting some kind of... I don't know how they would start him in the All-Star game as a two-way player. But, yeah, so he made it. Just kind of looking also here. Lots of guys through here. Bobby Dalbec has made it. A few 45 rated guys. Adam Frazier's here for Oakland. Now, one thing I forgot to mention with him was he just didn't get picked up after we didn't... we traded him to New York, and he didn't get signed to a team last year, but so he had the year off, but it looks like he's come back with a vengeance. His ratings definitely increased at the plate, and he was getting a little center field action with the A's so far this year. So Adam Frazier, congrats to him. It's good to see that he's doing something. So I thought he honestly was kind of out of the league after I saw that he just was in free agency. I thought about bringing him in, but we just didn't have a spot for him. Mike Trout is still here. Austin Hayes, Kelnick. So it looks like the future's kind of arriving here. Willie Castro's here. Lindor's here. And then National League, I already see one. I see a few already, so hopefully we do have a bunch here. Corey Abbott is here. He's turned into a good player in this. Max Fried is getting the start pitching-wise for the National League. Mackenzie Gore, lots of guys are here. Kumar Rocker is in here. Bang, he gets his first All-Star nod. Love to see that for him. And then further looking down the list here, catching-wise, that's American League again. Rockers are only represented for pitching, which is kind of surprising. Verdus here with the catchers. He's having a career offensive year. He has been money all year. Good to see him there. Chai-Ju Ko is here at first base. I'm not quite sure why he's not starting. I'm going to guess that Alec Baum is going to get the start at first base. That's why he has the asterisk on him, even though he's technically listed positionally as a third baseman. But he's mostly played first base for the Phillies this year, and he has been hitting better than Ko anyway, so I'm fine with him getting the start. But Ko makes his second All-Star appearance as a Pirate. Pretty cool to see there. Some other guys here. India, Turang is having an absolute monster season with the bat there. Arenado's still here. Kieboom is here. Trevor Story is here with the Mets now, so that's interesting. Tatis Jr. is here. He's starting for the National League at short, it looks like. And then in the outfield, I doubt we would have anyone, and we don't. Two Atlanta guys here in Acuna and Pache. There's a guy here from Miami. Austin Meadows is here from the Dodgers. And then you have Jeff McNeil here running around things out, as long as Cody Bellinger. So only 3 All-Stars for us, but I mean, still, that is much better than it has been in Pittsburgh in recent memory. A Florial injury diagnosis. Definitely should look at this. And he's got wrist tendonitis for 2 weeks, so I'm gonna play with an injury like that. So I'm gonna go ahead right here, and we're gonna get someone up. We have Palma here who might slot in. I think honestly we'll probably against righties. Robinson also is looking at injury here, so I think we're gonna have to go ahead and call up Janista, because he's our only other guy who can play the outfield really. Sammy Siani, he's an option. He's also a lefty though. So if Robinson gets hurt, we'll probably either look for someone on waivers or something, because we'll need to solve our outfield situation until we make a trade. And if one of these guys is out long term, we'll be making a move. So I guess we'll just have to sim a day or two and see what's up with Robinson's injury. And he's down for 5 weeks, so we're gonna have to make a move for an outfielder here. So put him on the IL as well. We're gonna have to look again now. Honestly, I might go ahead and make a move right now, and there's no one here, so we are gonna have to make a move for an outfielder. We'll go ahead and see who's on the trade block, see if anyone particularly good is available outfield wise, and I don't see any at least right-handed outfielders. McNeil and Conforto here. McNeil's not bad against lefties. Also have to consider the money. He's making $20 million, so we would have to get the Mets to eat a substantial chunk of his money. He can only play left field, although I suppose that's fine. We can have Jing Shang there, but we'd also need. So let's probably should take some inventory of this. We'll sim a day because we're in the All-Star break, so it doesn't really matter. Game-wise right now, you almost put Swaggerty in center, which isn't ideal. We'll probably need a guy who is right-handed and can play some center field. So we're gonna go look back at the trade block, see who's available, and then if not, we're gonna look kind of by rebuilding teams. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And Duhar cannot play center. Lorenzo Cain's not a guy who I'm interested in acquiring in the year 2024. Just because he could be an option. He's gonna be a last resort option since he doesn't make much. Also, Kiermaier is also a last resort option. Merrifield is hurt. We're gonna have to look elsewhere to acquire someone. So we're gonna have to try to initiate a trade with some rebuilding teams here. Aaron Judge could be an interesting guy to acquire. I would play him in center field. We can't really afford his money though, so that is an issue here. I don't think they really have any other. They do have Giancarlo, who is even worse in the money situation, so we won't be able to bring him in either. So the Yankees are a no. The Rangers are also a team. We could look at Steele Walker. He's left-handed, though, I believe. And he is. Leody Taveras is also going to have to be a pass. It's going to be very tough to find a team with an outfield that matches up for us. Juan Soto is here. He is under contract for a very long time, so we will not be able to bring him in, I would doubt. Mendoza can't play the outfield. I think I'm gonna go off screen here and try to figure something out, because I don't want to bore you with looking in depth at every team. But I'll let you know a few options once I figure it out. After mulling a lot of the offers that a lot of the trades that I was trying to find for an additional outfielder because of our injuries, I wasn't really finding anything. Mostly just guys who were really bad first, like Jorge Soler, who could only play corner outfield spot. But we needed a guy who was right-handed and was pretty versatile and could play a few spots in the outfield, including being okay enough in center field to get some spot starts. And the only guy I could really find out that met our criteria, that wasn't on a contending team, that was a realistic deal, was Nick Senzao. He, of course, is a pretty much a utility player in real life. He was drafted as an infielder and then was converted later into being an outfielder for the Reds. And as you can see, his defensive ratings pretty much say to me that he can play some center field with that 65 outfield range. He'll be more than fine, I think, if we do have to play him in some center field. But what also was interesting to me is just his versatility past once our outfield guys comes back, like once Christian Robinson comes back, once Florial comes back. We're gonna need to find a spot for him, and what I'm thinking is that he could kind of fill the Cole Tucker role. Cole Tucker has kind of started to not hit ever since Brian Hayes came back. So I'm thinking that Nick Senzao, he doesn't really have the infield ratings anymore, just because he really hasn't gotten any playing time in the infield. But I think with some reps there, he could become serviceable at second and third base. But as you can see, he hits lefties extremely well. He hits righties pretty well, and this is a deal that I think we just have to make. As for our offer, it's basically just a bunch of middle-of-the-road prospects. This guy's 24. Maybe he could be something, although I don't particularly like his ratings. This Reyes guy, kind of same thing. Decent prospect, don't really like his ratings. And then this guy's kind of basically a throw-in. I don't think he's any much at all. OSA likes him, but I don't really like his ratings nearly as much. And basically we added the third guy in there to retain salary, because I really don't want to pay Nick Senzao. He is going to be a rental. He is only making $3 million this year. It's his last year of arbitration. So after this season, he will not be under any team control anymore. So we will most likely let him walk, because I doubt we'd want to pay him what he wants. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do this trade for Senzao. I think this is a pretty good deal for us. Alright, and then after the deal, lineup-wise, this is how the manager wants it to work out. It wants it so Senzao here starts in left field against right-handed pitching. Swaggerty also getting center field starts versus right-handed pitching, with Cole Tucker sprinkled in there a little bit, getting some time. And then Jingsheng moving back over to right field and getting starts there, with Palma coming off the bench. And then against left-handed pitching, it has Nick Senzao still starting in left, Swaggerty in center, Palma starting in right, and then Jingsheng coming off the bench. I would probably prefer Senzao to get the right-handed, the center field at bats against left-handed pitching, just because Swaggerty really isn't all that against left-handed pitching. Although I guess we don't really have an option, because we're not going to start Janisa against lefties. Cole Tucker, I want him to remain on the bench as a bench bat, because he's really our only backup infielder that we have. So I guess we don't really have any other options. It could be expanded once everyone's back, but for the time being, this is what we're going to be rolling with. There's again our left-handed lineup and then our right-handed lineup. Nick Senzao slotting into the second spot against left-handed pitching, and he's going to be batting 6th for us against right-handed pitching. So with that said, that deal done, that's pretty much going to do it for this episode. We made our moves for the episode. Carrasco, I know I talked about moving him, but I want to keep him for the pitching depth. You never know what can happen with pitching in this game, and we really only have like Blake Wyman's hurt right now, so his diagnosis is pending. We do have Brubaker, Taylor, Tomlin, who all won't be coming back. Yadier Alvarez will be coming back at some point. We have Franny Kobos, who could be called up, but other than that, we have him, Lawson, Moldinsky, and while those guys are pretty good, I don't want to handicap our depth because again, you can never know what happened with pitching in this game. Pitching injuries are pretty common, and you always kind of as the saying goes, you can never have enough pitching depth, and we're just gonna go for that and just keep Carrasco around for the year because I think it'll be worth it. So again, thank you guys for watching, and subscribe. I've definitely been enjoying this season of Pirates Baseball. We've been pretty good, and next time I see you, we'll probably be in a pennant race. Probably cover the team as we go down the stretch. Hopefully towards the postseason. I'll definitely have to update you guys on what's happening because it should be a close race to the end of the season. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.